So let's pick the one that's going to be Deluxified. Wait, is that even a word? I don't care. I love it. Hello Barbie lovers and beyond, and welcome back to my channel. This is Marina the 90s Barbie, and in this channel we do tons of amazing stuff related to Barbie, so of course don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss out. Now in this video we are finally returning back to form with a fabulous mermaid makeover. Our star is of course none other than this magical Dreamtopia Mermaid Barbie Brooklyn. Designed by who else? Our dear, groundbreaking designer and dreamer, Angel Kent. The whole wave was such a return to form for Mermaid Barbie in 2022, and it's been getting better and better ever since, all thanks to Angel, to whom I'm eternally grateful. You can of course check the video I did back then featuring all the mermaids. I love them to this day. However, this particular one just hit something deeper in me. You know how much I love mermaids and how much I love all of Angel's mermaids. But I do have my faves for sure, and this Brooklyn mermaid was and is just it for me, as evidenced clearly in my Instagram. I actually believe she's one of my top 2 favorite mermaid designs by Angel, but number 1 will be discussed in another video. As I said in my original video featuring her, everything about this mermaid just speaks to me. Her fantastical pastel and pink blue color scheme, possibly my fave color combo for a mermaid, her realistic tail design with the side fins and everything, her pearlescent details, her dreamy blue hair, the fact that she is Brooklyn, and of course her mesmerizing screening. I just love her, which is why we're going to be giving her a very well-deserved glow up in this video. Now don't get me wrong, I love her just the way she is. I literally have her in my bag everywhere I go as an emotional support doll, and I have another one just hanging at home with me always, but I do see a few areas where we can add that extra sparkle. More specifically, we're going to work on her look by adding more details while leaving the original design untouched, because it's precious to me and you do not mess with perfection, honey. And we're also going to reroot her, bringing her closer to Angel's original design, showcases her with a bit longer hair, and of course improving the hair quality, as this wave did come with polypropylene hair instead of saran. I literally said in my review that the only thing I'd want for her is longer hair, and that's what we're going to do. This is really exhilarating for me, as this is only my second ever reroot here on this channel. First one was Odile last year, which was more of a test and my first attempt, although I loved the result. This time though, I'm coming in slightly more profesh with much better hair quality and better equipment. As with my last reroot though, we're going to be using a technique that does not require glue, cause girl, who'd want glue sipping all over this gorgeous face a few years down the line, right? Couldn't be me. Now as you can see, I do have several of this beauty at hand, so let's pick the one that's going to be Deluxified. Wait, is that even a word? I don't care. I love it. Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You are the queen to glow. Okay, so we picked the one. I am so ready. I am so excited. So without any further ado, let's get right into it already. Alright, so this is the one I have chosen. I think she is so beautiful, and the reason I did choose her is because out of all of them, I felt like a screening was the best. I love her makeup and her eyeshadow, everything. Everything is so shimmery and mermaidy. I even love the lip color. It's so neutral and beautiful, almost like dripping in water, like a very drippy, beautiful, glossy gloss, and I just love it. As you know, they all have little differences, which is why I got so many, and I wanted to choose the ideal one for this project. Now, she is also minimally pixelated, like almost not at all, which for me is such a huge plus. I've said it many times, and I'll say it again. To me, Brooklyn feels like a vintage doll. Her face sculpt, I think it's so reminiscent of older 90s dolls with that big smile. And this specific screening is one of my favorites ever for Brooklyn, so I'm really happy to be doing this. So right now we're gonna go ahead and behead her, and right after we're gonna start working on customizing her arms, her body a little bit, and glamming up her overall look. Alright, so our queen has been beheaded and I actually managed to cut my finger. I'm sorry for that. So now it's time to modify her arms as per usual and give her the princess elegant arms that she deserves. As per usual, we're gonna do that with my trusty old hairdryer using heat and then modifying as needed. Now I haven't done that in a while, so be sure to remember to keep the hairdryer at a safe distance, and I usually do that for about like 2 minutes maybe, or 1.5, it depends. So let's start. Et voila, she looks fabulous now. And while we're at it, I'm also going to cut down her neck peg because I don't feel that there's any need for it to be so long, and it will be much easier to slide the head back in, and also it's less likely to disrupt the reroot inside. There we go, much better. Okay everyone, so for the next step, what I'm gonna try to do is bedazzle and bepearl her look. Yes, bepearl, it's a thing, I made it up. So I've got some beautiful beads and little sparkles here that I want to try and use to embellish her look, because to me this mermaid is giving such huge pearl vibes, and we're gonna try to amplify that because she is a true pearl princess. And then I'm gonna have to come up with a different name, something pearly. Now for this project I would normally use my E6000 plus glue, but unfortunately it wasn't available in the craft store I usually go to, so they proposed this one, and apparently it does the same work, so hopefully it will be good. And also look at how profesh. I also have my little rhinestone picking instrument, I guess. Yes, so we're gonna try and use that. I've never used that before actually, so it's very exciting. What I'm gonna try to do is add some pearls to her beautiful tail, and then maybe a few things here and there on the top and the belt, and we're gonna see where we go from there. Now for this project I will be using gloves, because if you're working with those glues, it's always best to wear gloves, and also be in a very well ventilated area, and even wear a respirator or mask if you can. So I'm really excited. Let's start. OMG, okay, the bepearling is going great. As you can see, I added so many on the front. I love how it looks. And of course, I added some on the back too. Not as many, but still a few, just to have some continuity, and I love it. And now to follow her theme of the little stars, we're gonna add some of these little cuties right here. They look so beautiful. And we're gonna add them to a few key points like here and her belt. Let's do it. And while we're at it, we're also gonna go ahead and add some sparkle to her beautiful, beautiful crown. Okay everyone, I am really excited with the process so far. Oh my, wow, look at her. This is beautiful and this is magical. I am obsessed with all the little pearls and the sparkles. It fits so well with her original theme. And look at how beautifully the stars sparkle. So cute. I'm also obviously obsessed with the crown. I love this crown already, so I didn't do anything much. I just added like a little star in the middle and 2 droplets just to give it that extra oomph, and I think it's so beautiful. Alright, and I believe we're ready to move on to the next step. Alright, so what I want to try to attempt to do now, and I'm saying attempt because I'm not the best sewer, is create some little sleeves for her right here. Sleeves slash gloves slash fins have been a huge part of Mermaid Barbie ever since the early 2000s, to be honest, and have also been a big part of Angel's designs. I believe they look so beautiful and so regal, so this is what I want to try to do. Now I have already created these 2 pieces of fabric which I'm gonna be using. This is the same fabric I used for my mermaid Glinda and for one of my extra mermaids. A family friend just gave this fabric to me and I've been really grateful because as you can see they have come in handy. So yeah, I've got these 2 fabrics and basically what I want to do is wrap it around her arm and then sew it right here and then cut it in a way that sort of mirrors her little fins right here. Yeah, I am a little bit nervous, but it does seem simple enough, so hopefully it will turn out great. Okay everyone, we are done and now we have a beautiful elegant little fin. I admit the sewing work could have been better. It's a little sloppy here, but at least the thread is pink, so you cannot really tell, maybe, I don't know, but at least I think it looks really beautiful, really elegant, especially once she has her arms up like that. So yeah, I really love it. Also another tip, if you want to avoid this like shredding over the years, you can take a little lighter and just go through with it very lightly in the edges, but obviously if you do that, be very careful. But yeah, I love how it turned out actually. I think it looks really beautiful and elegant. Let me put my hand so you can see. So now all we got to do is repeat for the other side so we can have 2. Alright everyone, we're done with the second sleeve and I really love it as well. I admittedly not to toot my own horn, but admittedly I did a little bit of a better job with the second sleeve and the sewing work. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. I love how it looks. They're so transparent and beautiful, and they're gonna be falling off her, like you can see when I'm turning her around. One comes to the front, one goes to the back, and of course you can change that. And I just really like how it looks. I think it looks so beautiful and gives her that elegant, even dreamier vibe. But we are not done yet. So what I want to do for the next part is create 2 strings of little pearls that will be falling like off her shoulders. It is a mermaid design I've seen many times and I've always wanted to try it, and I think this beauty is the one that should have it. We're going to basically create like 2 strings of pearls attached to one pearl that we will then like glue on here. So you'll see what I'm gonna do. And for this I have these tiny little pearls, and I think they're gonna look so beautiful. So let's do it. And it's ready. Look at it. It looks so beautiful and so elegant. Basically, I did 2 strings and I attached those strings to one pearl on each side, and I think it looks so beautiful. Look at it. And of course, I did test it on her, like you can see. This is almost how it will look like, and I really love it. So basically, now we're gonna make one more for the other side. And there you have it. We now have 2, one for each side. So now all we have to do is glue them on, and I also want to attach like a little ring to her, so I will be gluing that too. So yeah, it's time to get to gluing again. Okay, so I believe this concludes everything we have to do for her mermaid body. And look, oh my wow, look at these dainty, beautiful pearl details. Even her little ring here, so cute. And I believe we're ready to move on to the next phase. Wait, hold up. Okay, so I've changed my mind. I'm not done with her body yet. And look, I feel like I want to add a few little pearls here to her sleeves because I may not be the best seamstress, but I do know how to conceal. And I also want to work on her fin a little bit. At the beginning, I thought I'd go very simple, very demure, very understated, leaving the fin as is because I really love it as it is, and I still do. But no, I'm not that girl. I'm extra, and I want the extravagance and the glam. So we're gonna add a few little pearls here too. So let's do that real quick, and by real quick I mean for you watching this edited, because for me this is the reason why it takes me 100 years to put out a new video. Let's go. now we are done and we can officially move on to the next part. I am so happy with how it turned out. I'm gonna have to do the back side off screen. I'm really happy with the result. I love it so much. I love the little pearls here too. Look at that, how pretty. I really love it. So we're ready to move on. Alright everyone, so I believe it's now time to finally start prepping our rerooting. And we're gonna do that by cutting off all of her hair. Heartbreaking, I know, even though we're gonna be giving her much better hair, but still. And in my previous reroot, I had gotten like low quality hair because it was my first time doing it. But this time, look at that. I have beautiful freshwater pearl saran hair. Pearl for pearl. And look at how beautiful it matches with her actual hair. I do believe that other than the dark blue, it's almost like the same exact like blend. So I'm really happy. Look at this, it looks beautiful, and this is what we're going to be using. It doesn't have the dark blue part, but I'm not really sad about it because obviously I want her to be fully pastel. So we're gonna cut all her hair, but before we do that, we're actually gonna take one strand. I'm gonna show you how to do that and create a little guide, because sometimes I'm worried I may put in too much hair or too little hair, I don't know. So we're gonna take one strand from one of her holes, and this is gonna work as our guide, just to compare when we're rerooting and know that we're using the right amount of hair. Now after that, we're gonna scrape the inside just to get all the hair out, and what's gonna help you here is heating the head with a hair dryer, doing that because this will help the holes loosen out and the hair come off way more easily. And then of course we're also gonna create a rerooting tool, and we're gonna use this here. It's an art knife, and these needles, these are actual rerooting needles. In my previous reroot, I used standard sewing needles, and it was doable, of course, but I think this is going to be much more convenient, so I'm really excited. Let's start! Oh wow, she's ready. Look at her, all bold and beautiful. She literally even rocks that look. She is so pretty, I cannot. We have successfully removed all of her hair. We cut everything on the top and removed everything from the inside. Look at this, all this, it's gone. So now she's ready to be rerooted. And because her hair color was already blue, her head is painted blue, so we don't really need to do anything. Remove the paint or add new one. She is literally ready. So let's go make a rerooting tool. So first we're going to test our needle by passing it in one of the thinnest holes, which is of course in the hairline. Okay, I think this is great. Still getting hair out. And now we're gonna take a little art knife and replace the tip of it with our needle. And please be careful with this because it can really cut. And there we have it, a great DIY rerooting tool which we can use to reroot our doll. Perfect. And I believe we're ready to begin. Okay, we are ready to begin our no glue reroot, and in the last video I used this non-glue technique. Some of you still had some questions after it, so I'm going to try to explain it again step by step to the best of my abilities. Here I have my tools, comb, scissors, and of course a rerooting tool. Here I have all the hair out ready to be used, and of course here I have some boiling water because we're gonna have to be reheating the head every now and again just to make sure that all the holes are really smooth and soft and we can work easily without breaking them. Alright, so for the first step, we're going to take a hair strand like this one and compare it to the little guide we made earlier to see if the amount is correct. Once we have established that, we're going to fold it in half, creating 2 equal parts. Then we're going to make a knot in the middle . Like this. After that, we're going to take one tip of the hair strand we made and put it into the water, and then also heat the head. We're then going to take a rerooting tool and pass it through one of the holes, and I'm going to start with her hairline in a way that comes out of her neck. Now we're going to take one tip of the hair strand and pass it through the needle. Then, once we are done, we're going to pull away the needle like this, leaving the knot inside. After that, we're going to go to the right next hole and pass our needle again so that it comes out of the head like this. Then we're going to take the next tip, the one that's coming from inside, put it into the water just to make sure it's workable, and pass it through the needle. If this is giving you a hard time, you can also trim it a bit so it's easier to pass through the hole. Now once you have passed the remaining strand that comes out of the neck into the hole of the needle, you're going to pull once more like this, essentially leaving the knot behind and in between the holes. Now, as you can see, this hair isn't going anywhere. You can pull it or whatever, but the knot is in between the two holes, so the hair is going nowhere. And now all you gotta do is repeat, repeat, and repeat until the end of time, probably. So let's do that. Okay, so here's a little update. As you can see, she is filling up beautifully. Look at that beautiful, beautiful pearl blue hair. I'm really proud and happy about it. I'm really happy that I started with a hairline, which as you can see is almost complete, because this is truly the hardest part. And a little tip and trick that I picked up for the hairline, because these tiny, tiny little holes can be scary, is when the head is all warm up, what you can do is poke each little hole with the pointy part of the needle to just open it up a little bit, and then have the other side of the needle be able to go in more easily. Another thing, I've also started working on her part line. I basically completed it. It was easy because I didn't do any changes basically. You can see it starts here and goes all the way to the back. So what I did is fill up this part with thicker hair strands so that then we can divide it and create her part line. But that's for a little later. So let's go ahead and fully fill her up. Okay everyone, she is ready. I mean, it's only been 84 years, but who's counting? As you can see, she looks pretty fabulous. Her hair is full. And if you're wondering, no, I am not going to be cutting it at all. I want her to be at Rapunzel length, inches baby. So what we're gonna do now is divide her part line and finish it up. And if you remember, I did say that I used thicker strands for this part right here. So we're gonna use our tool to divide it. Boom. Alright everyone, look at this part line. It is perfect or almost perfect in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and tie it up with a little thread and then move on with her ball washing. I really love this technique and how it turned out. In my opinion, it's very natural and very beautiful. So let's move on to the next step. Okay, so the hair always comes off a little tired after the reroot, but now that we've given her that ball wash, oh my freaking wow, it feels like silk and it's just amazing. So we're gonna finish it off by giving her some straightening and also a little bit of curling in the ends here. And if you do this, always remember, have the hair be damp still and use the lowest possible setting. For me, it's 130. Okay, I believe she's finally ready. She is looking so beautiful. We're gonna leave her dry off overnight and then we're gonna come back to witness her fabulous look. Okay everyone, she's here, she's ready, and she is magnificent. Honestly, I am freaking out a bit because I love her so much. I am so happy with how she turned out. I could scream right now. I'm not gonna do it because it's most probably gonna be very annoying for all of you, but I could literally scream right now. I mean, this is what I wanted for her ever since I first saw her. She honestly looks magnificent, so regal, so beautiful, so mermaid Barbie. This is what Mermaid Barbie should always be, and do not get me wrong at all. As I said in the beginning of the video, I love her original form too. She is indeed one of my favorite dolls ever, and I constantly have her with me. But oh my wow, seeing her like this, all glammed up and embellished and yassified, or whatever you want to call it, with all the pearls, the sleeves, the hair, it means so much. Wow, she looks enchanting, honestly. And I also need your help coming up with a name for her. I was thinking Brooklyn Barbie Princess Star Pearl or Brooklyn Barbie Princess Pearl Star, because obviously she has all those little stars as her theme, and obviously she's a true pearl. So I need your help. Let me know which one do you like most, Princess Star Pearl or Princess Pearl Star. I want your opinions. Now, of course, all of this wouldn't be possible without Angel Kent's magnificent design. This doll has been my favorite mermaid of at least the last decade, at least when it comes to the ones we actually got. I love her so much, and without Angel's marvelous vision, we wouldn't be here doing this project. So for the 100th time, Angel, thank you. I am so grateful, and I mean it when I say it, that you're healing my heart with all those fabulous mermaid designs. And mind you, I felt like that even before seeing this fabulous new mermaid that's coming to us, because I started this project before we even saw her, and like, can you now imagine them together? This will be a pastel mermaid dream. I cannot wait to have them together and photograph them and everything. And by the way, since this is our beloved Brooklyn, I also can't wait to see if there's gonna be a Brooklyn version of this gorgeous new pastel bubble mermaid, but we'll have to wait and see. I certainly hope so. And I know that sometimes I sound over the top, but I mean what I'm saying, and I mean how grateful I am, because ever since like 2007 until like 2022, as a mermaid at heart and a huge Mermaid Barbie lover, I felt a gap when it comes to Mermaid Barbie. Yes, there were some cute mermaid designs, I'm not gonna lie, some of them were cute, but nothing like this. Nothing like Angel's mermaids. This is something I've been missing since like the mermaid fantasy era. This is the fantasy. This whole wave of mermaids we got ever since Angel took over the mermaids has also sparked this creativity in me, and it means so much. So thank you, Angel, once more. I cannot say that enough. Now to the specifics of this beauty. I can't believe I found saran hair, a blend that looks so much like the original. I'm so obsessed with the result. I'm so obsessed with how her hair turned out, and I know that this technique that I'm using without glue is a little bit more time consuming, but to me it was just so worth it. And just look at those inches, baby. Look at that. Look at how much hair. Jewel, her mermaid Barbie, said I have the longest hair ever, and she said, hold my tiara, honey. And she meant it. I continue saying that, and I know it must be tiring, but I love her so much. I can't believe I will have her every day here in my room to stare at and admire and just be in awe of her, because I am in awe of her. I love this process. It was so worth it, and I hope you all enjoyed it too and found it helpful or inspiring. And I know I always say that, but I believe this has been my favorite project to date. It's one I've been wanting to do for so long, and I finally did it, and it feels amazing. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching and following me on this creative mermaid journey under the sea. And of course, if you want to see more content and photos featuring this princess, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and on my Instagram right here. And as always, if you did enjoy this video, also don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to know every time I upload a new one. Thank you again so much for watching. I loved doing this, but the best part is of course being able to share it with you. So thank you, and until next time, do all the things you love, enjoy your dolls, go on magical creative journeys with them, and of course keep a positive attitude, because it really does change everything. Peace.